Okay, I'd like to call the May meeting of the Batavia Township Board to order. And would you join me in the Pledge of Allegiance? Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And I'd like to ask the clerk to call the roll.
Walter Donnet.
Present.
Troy Chisana.
Here.
John West.
Present.
Jennifer Zorn. Here. Lee Tracy.
Here. And we'll have the minutes indicate too that we have Highway Commissioner Christopher Long here and Assessor Tammy Kavanaugh. And we have our videographer here as normal. And we have some public here today. Most importantly, let me introduce the Batavia Township Office Manager and General Assistant Case Manager, and her daughter and her son. And we have Trustee West, soon to become Supervisor West's better half here as well. So we have the other.
Welcome.
Welcome. Welcome all.
And we have Van here too.
And we have Van Larson, and we have Trustee-elect Michelle Hilliard here. All right. Okay. Could I have a motion to approve the minutes from the April meeting?
So move. Second.
And are there any questions or concerns, corrections to the minutes? If not, then I'll have the clerk call the roll on the approval of the minutes of the April meeting.
Chisana.
Yes.
Donnet.
Yes.
West.
Yes.
Zorn. Yes. Tracy.
Yes. And next item on the agenda is a supervisor's report. Well, if I will attempt to keep brief. I just kind of reviewed the bank statements for May and updated through, and actually today. So currently, we have a total of $680,292.51 in the bank. And in this month, we have, the township has earned $602.13 on the money market account and $2,055.45 on MaxSafe. So we have a total interest earned during the month of May of $2,657.58. You have the budget reports, which is the first month of the fiscal year, ending April 30th. And you know, if you make an assumption that you don't want to spend in any one month more than that month's share, which would be 91% remaining. We have that much remaining in almost all of the funds, so we're in good shape. I just want to make a notice that we will receive the first distribution of the property tax for this fiscal year on May the 21st. So that will add to our funds. I wanted to make a mention and congratulate those of us who were elected. I would even congratulate myself in the consolidated election. The couple of significant things, I think, is that the turnout was unbelievably high. I estimated that it should not be more than 10. It was in fact over 24% turnout. But the only negative side of that is it means that next time you're going to have more signatures because there are more votes cast. The unfortunate news, so far as I'm concerned, is that as of just the last couple days, our case with the Illinois Department of Human Rights, they granted the complainant's request for extension of the request for review. It was May 2nd, it is now June 2nd, so it's still going. We have completed 2 audits, and we're starting on a 3rd, and then there'll be another one to do before we're up to date on the township audits. I just wanted to mention that this is the last meeting for the current elected officers. And we're going to swear in the new officials later in the meeting. I want to indicate that we are meeting on May the 16th with what we refer to as the community agencies. For a long time, historically, the township has supported the agencies in the community, and we want to continue to do that, even though for budgetary reasons that has been decreased in the last couple of years. But we're going to meet with those folks, Supervisor West and the township general caseworker, a general assistance caseworker, and I will meet with these folks. If anybody else would like to join us for coffee and donuts at the Congregational Church of Batavia at 9 a.m. on Thursday, May 16th, you're certainly welcome. That's this coming Thursday. Officially,
It's Friday.
It's
Friday, I'm sorry. It was Thursday, it was changed to Friday. So it's Friday. And changed it from Thursday to Friday. And officially, next Monday begins the term of office for those people who are elected, the supervisor, the clerk, and the trustees. The assessor takes office January 1st. I also want to encourage as many as can to join us on Saturday, May 24th at what we refer to as Commissioner's Park at the intersection of Nelson Lake Road and Deer Path Road for the dedication of a tree in memory of Jim Anderson. And I've extended this to his father, Cliff Anderson, who together were supervisors for, I believe, 58 years. So there have only been, counting the newly elected, there have only been 4 township supervisors in roughly 70 years, which is pretty good longevity.
And the time on that's 2 p.m., correct?
2 p.m. Yeah, we're going to meet there, then we're going to come back here, across the way here, for a reception. Oh, I also want to encourage newly elected officials to attend the Township Officials of Illinois newly elected official training in Naperville on June 17th. So if you can attend, please let me know, and we'll register us. Any other questions about any of this? If not, then we can move along to the assessor's report. I'm sorry, approval of bill. I'm sorry. We can leave it off. No, we're going to have to approve the bills. Why don't we take the road district bills? First, do I have a motion to approve the payment of road district bills in the total amount of $39,034.19?
So moved.
Second.
Are there any questions, concerns? No? Comments? No? All right, so the clerk can call the roll on the approval of the township road district bills to be paid in May.
Zoring,
Yes.
Donnet,
Yes.
Tucson,
Yes.
West,
Yes.
Tracy.
Yes. And then we have bills to be paid for the general fund and the general fund, the supervisor's office and the assessor's office. And there should be a correction here. The assessor's fund here should be the check numbers 7258, the U.S. Bank credit card should be $151.22, which makes the total on the assessor's fund $26,327.06, I believe. And then there is no correction on the general fund bills, other than that the total of the general assessor fund bills should be $74,537.41. So do I have a motion to approve the payment of the assessor's fund and general fund bills?
So moved.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Any discussion, questions? So let's have the clerk call the roll on approval of the general fund and assessor's fund bills.
Zorn,
Yes.
Donnet,
Yes.
Susanna,
Yes.
West,
Yes.
Tracy.
Yes, now we can have an assessor.
Okay.
Can I just back up for a minute?
Sure.
Under the general town fund is the supervisor's office and assessor's office. And
Yeah.
that's where those bills come from.
Yeah. We have traditionally called something the assessor's fund and general fund. There is only a township fund, town fund. And there is an assessor's office, which is not a fund, and there's a supervisor's office, which is not a fund, technically.
Okay, thank you.
Okay,
I guess I'll start with, my tax bills recently went out, and they're sent out by the King County Treasurer, not the assessor. Got a lot of people questioning why they're so high, but once we explain it, the market's increased, as we know, and so the tax rate for Batavia overall went down. So the main city of Batavia was 8.58091, went down to 7.906456, which you would think, well, then my taxes will go down. But in turn, assessments went up over the last few years too because of the market. So it one helps try to offset the other. So if you have questions about your taxes, to contact the treasurer's office. But if you have questions about your property assessment, market value, call us, call your assessor. We have a really good website too to do searches on property to look for equity in assessments, sales data, and that's on bataviatownship.com. As far as this year, I just certified our assessment rolls yesterday. So it'll take the King County Supervisor of Assessments probably 30 to 60 days. There's 16 townships that they have to review and publish. So I'm hoping by sometime July that we publish. And we take calls and assessment concerns throughout the year. So we look at property values any time of year. If we can, if there's a change to be made, if we're in that timeline, we do make a change, even though it's past the deadline. Like, we can still make assessment changes through October 1st. So we try to be as helpful as we can and explain. So because we use the last 3 years of sales, the last 3 years of sales for this year are all high markets. And if, as the assessor in all the townships in the county, if in total we're not at 33 and a third of market value, the county will do their calculations, and then if we're not there, they'll give us an equalization factor. I think you've all heard of that. Our projected this year is 8.78%. So if I'm not increasing, they are. So we're just trying to be equitable and follow the statutes. So thankfully that rate went down. So if the taxing, if you're raising assessments, that's more money for the taxing bodies to get. So in turn it should lower the rate. And it did. So I was real happy to see that. Overall, the calls, they're under control. We have really a lot of nice people in Batavia that are really understanding overall. It's been good. That's all I have. Unless you have questions.
any questions of Tammy?
No.
Thank you.
All right, moving ahead, how about road commissioners report?
Well, we're just in the process of finishing up our big project this year, which is Nelson Lake Road. So we started on it 2 weeks ago. Did some patches or repairs, primed it, and then put a first overlay down to correct the crown. So it's nice, they have a paver that you can set the grade on to give us a 2% slope. And So we went down with that, which raised the center up a little bit. And then came back the next day and put a total overlay over it. So it's looking really good. We've been working for 3 days now on shouldering, putting the gravel down. We got everything but the little areas around the driveways, which is a lot of manual labor. So we'll try to get at that this week and close the road again for through traffic because there's a lot of guys on the road. So hopefully we get that done, and then we're in good shape. And we'll have our smaller projects to do, some micro surfacing and some slurry surfacing later on. So it's a good start to the summer to get that done in May.
Right. What's the weight limit on that road? Or is there one?
Yeah, it's a 10-ton weight limit, but our big problem is that the GPS sends all the semis off the interstate down that road. And unless you got the cops there every day, you can stop some of them, but not all of them.
If they get fined for overweight, who gets that money?
We do. We get a bunch of it, yeah.
So if you've not had an opportunity, take a drive down Nelson Lake Road, but make sure you abide by the speed limit.
You can tend to want to drive faster than the speed limit now.
No.
Nice smooth surface. Well,
Anything
yeah,
else?
any questions?
Question? Do we have any trustee reports? Questions? Comments?
For me.
All right.
I'm good.
Now, we have some public. Do we have any public questions, concerns?
We do not.
You do not. Okay,
Good answer.
good answer. All righty, let's move to new business. And what I'd like to do is to ask the clerk to proceed with administering the oath to us newly elected officials.
Okay, John, I'll start with you. Okay. And I think you can just read that.
Hold on a second. Glasses.
Raise your right hand and
Read it.
state.
I, John West, having been elected to the office of Batavia Township Supervisor in the state of Illinois in the county of Kane, do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the state of Illinois, and I will faithfully discharge the duties of the office of Batavia Township Supervisor to the best of my ability.
Okay,
All
congratulations.
good? I sign it? Sign it?
Yeah, you can sign both copies and then give them back to me. Okay, Chris, you're next. And raise your right hand and.
I, Christopher Long, having been elected to the office of Batavia Township Road Commissioner in the state of Illinois and the county of Kane, do solemnly swear or affirm that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the state of Illinois, and I will faithfully discharge the duties of the office of Batavia Township Road Commissioner to the best of my ability.
Okay, congratulations. Get it signed.
Congratulations.
Lee Tracy, you're next. Raise your right hand and make your statement.
I, Lee Tracy, having been elected to the office of Batavia Township Clerk in the state of Illinois and the county of Kane, do solemnly swear or affirm that I will support the Constitution of the United States, Constitution of the state of Illinois, and I will faithfully discharge the duties of the office of Batavia Township Clerk to the best of my ability.
Okay, congratulations. Please sign.
Thank you, Madam.
Okay. All right, well done it. Raise your right hand and read.
I, Walter Donnet, having been elected to the office of Batavia Township Trustee in the state of Illinois and county of Kane, do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the state of Illinois, and I will faithfully discharge the duties of the office of Batavia Township Trustee to the best of my ability.
Thank you, congratulations. Good job. Michelle. Raise your right hand and read, please.
I, Michelle Hilliard, having been elected to the office of Batavia Township Trustee in the state of Illinois in the county of Kane, do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the state of Illinois, and I will faithfully discharge the duties of the office of Batavia Township Trustee to the best of my ability.
Okay, thank you. Sound good. Okay. Troy Chisana. Okay, raise your right hand, Troy, and read the statement.
I, Troy Son, have been elected to the office of Batavia Township Trustee in the state of Illinois, in the county of Kane, do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the state of Illinois, and I will faithfully discharge the duties of the office of Batavia Township Trustee to the best of my ability.
Okay, thank you very much. And Jennifer Zorn.
Sit.
Thank you. Raise your right hand. Okay.
I, Jennifer Zorn, having been elected to the office of Batavia Township Trustee in the state of Illinois in the county of Kane, do solemnly swear or affirm that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the state of Illinois, and I will faithfully discharge the duties of the office of Batavia Township Trustee to the best of my ability.
Okay, thank you. Congratulations.
Thank you, Penny.
Thanks.
Thanks, Penny.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
So, moving ahead, to the other item of new business, the Batavia, or our lease with Batavia Enterprises for the space expires at the end of this month. And I've provided what Batavia Enterprises is suggesting as our new lease, which in essence is a 5% increase over the current rent for each year, 2025, 2026, 2027, 2028, 2029. Okay. So our lease, current lease was for a 1-year period, and this is for a 5-year period. Do I have any questions, concerns? If not, perhaps we could have a motion to approve the terms of this lease.
Is 5% typical? I don't know. Business? Hard to tell.
Is it compound? Is it compounded or is this
No, it's just 5% each year.
each year?
Yeah.
5 years is a long commitment.
It is
That's a long
compounded.
That
commitment.
is compounded.
5 years is long.
You're not a member of the board, please.
Yeah, 5 years is a long time.
5 years is a long time.
If something happened and we needed to get out of it after the 3rd year, is there a penalty?
From, yeah, you probably
Yeah,
have
3 years worth of rent.
My question is, without a lease, go year by year, what is the increase?
The increase year by year, the right is going to be larger if you take a year by year rather than a long term. They would much prefer and to give an incentive to a longer term lease.
Which we would have thought about this sooner.
It's $3,400 in a few years.
Is there a motion?
The only thing we could do is go back and ask them. I'd be willing to do that.
Let's see if we at least could get like maybe 2 years or
2
3
years.
years. At the most, 3 years.
I agree.
Okay, so since Supervisor-elect West is volunteered to talk to Batavia Enterprises and attempt to negotiate a different arrangement, I would suggest that we just take him up on that offer.
Yes.
Okay,
Okay.
very good.
So that being said, then, since
And I
the lease is up the end of the month, how do we get back?
Would give him permission or approval to.
Right,
I,
because,
yeah, I would make a motion to, as follows, to authorize John West to negotiate with Batavia Enterprises and negotiate whatever is the best arrangement that he can reach. Is there a second?
second,
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion? Then let's have the clerk call the roll on that motion.
Tracy,
Yes.
Donna,
Yes.
Tucson,
Yes.
We're gonna
West,
do it soon, right?
Zorn.
yes.
All righty.
That's why
West,
we just
yeah.
Did you read what?
Yeah, that's why we made a motion for him to be able to go ahead and
Okay,
negotiate. because it
so
hasn't
moving
been
ahead,
the end of the month before.
I have an item of old business, which is to amend the appropriation ordinance for the town
We
fund.
don't sign.
And you have a recommended ordinance. Let me just mention that the reason for doing this largely is that because I failed to take into account the significant amount of bank balances that we have at the end of the previous fiscal year. So we have more carryover, more money, revenue on hand. And so we have to build that into it. That essentially is the major reason for doing this. And so I'm going to suggest that we have a public hearing that is already going to be published in the King County Chronicle this month. And then we've agreed, John Weston and I, to, we don't have sufficient time to do this in June. So the earliest possibility is in July. So we will have a budget hearing on July 8th at 6:45 p.m. and then the regular monthly meeting following that to adopt the amended budget at that time. Do we have any questions about the budget? We have lots of time to deal with this. It can be changed prior to that time.
There's been a lot of time and effort on Lee's part,
Yeah, well-
more than mine.
Well,
But
yeah,
we
I-
spent a lot of time on this budget, and
Well,
I
a
think
couple
it's
of-
close to good.
Yeah, a couple of things I think we need to thank largely our highway commissioner for bringing this to my attention. And to, thank John and Tammy for working along with us in this effort to build a better budget. You can always build a better mousetrap.
It's looking good.
The good thing is it actually provides us with more money. The other thing you'll notice in this budget is that we have budgeted a reserve in each fund.
Right.
So we're asking and budgeting for more money than we intend to spend,
Correct.
Better than the alternative.
okay? Yeah, it's been a long time since we had any kind of a reserve fund.
Good enough.
Any other discussion about, if there are concerns, we will have time. We have a public hearing in July and then effort to vote on a amended budget at the regular meeting on July 10th. I'm sorry. Yeah, July 8th. All right. No other business to coming before
That's
us.
the reserve at the end of 26.
I'm going to,
Do you have the wrong, you must have the wrong one.
I'm gonna, yeah, there've been various editions of this thing.
Do you want this one?
Pick one you like the best.
Pick the best one. Before we adjourn, since this is the last meeting, I would cross myself, that I have the privilege of acting as the supervisor. I want to thank this board, all the elected officials, and our friendly public for the opportunity to serve. Great.
Yep, thanks.
Thank you. Yeah, you notice it was my birthday recently, so the balloons over there Are they-
Real him.
Yeah, they may last for a long
I
time.
know.
Do you want me to pass you one so you can suck on it and
Yeah,
talk with
that'd be a
you?
good,
right.
yeah, good to close the meeting down.
Talk about
Do I,
this one yet.
do I have a motion to adjourn?
Were you
Well,
gonna,
hold on.
hold on, were you gonna talk about this proclamation?
No?
Oh,
If you want to talk about it before we
Oh.
adjourn, that's fine.
Well, it was on the agenda, so I just was.
No, it is not on the
Oh,
agenda.
I thought it was.
Nope,
Okay.
it is not on the agenda.
We don't need
As
to
the
discuss
supervisor, just like the mayor of Batavia, makes proclamations without vote of the city council or without a vote of township board.
What do you want?
I was emailed a request by Abate to find, I think it's a fine organization. They've done a lot for motorcycle safety and awareness in Illinois. So I saw no harm in declaring the month of May Motorcycle Awareness Month. Is that what the official word is?
Yep,
Right.
okay.
So, do we have a motion to adjourn?
so moved. Oh, second.
All those in favor would say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? We are now adjourned.
Thank you. Thank you.